Thank you for joining us today. I'm Professor Saba Bibawi. I'm Head of Discipline, Journalism and Writing. We're also joined today by Ms. Sita Chopra, Director of Postgraduate Coursework, and I'm very lucky to have with us Elise Makrewski, who's an alumni. At least I never say your name properly, so you can say it properly later. Elise is a very good friend and colleague, and we're very lucky for us to have her joining us today. But before I start, I'd like to do a welcome to country, and I'd like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, upon whose ancestral lands our city campus now stands. I would also like to pay respect to the elders, both present and past, acknowledging them as traditional custodians of knowledge for this land. What we'll do today is we will just go through a few kind of basic information regarding the postgrads information course that we have. And also we will be recording today's session. This session will be recorded on audio screen share and our presenter. So I just needed to let you know that this is for any prospective students who might want to use this and refer to it. And also, as you can see in the chat, we are taking Q&A questions. So questions, and that you just put them in the Q&A box. And we can answer them at the end or during the session. So thank you for coming. So first of all, I'd like to just explain why UTS and why I study journalism and sports media at UTS. There's a few things that are quite unique to UTS. First of all, we are focused on practical learning. We are focused on our students and our graduates actually making it to a successful career afterwards in industry. So you will learn to research, interview, you'll compile and review key components of this course. And we do also focus on research and kind of conceptual frameworks and theoretical aspects, but we do that integrated with practical learning. So we want our students to be able to basically talk the talk and walk the walk. We have also great industry facilities, so you gain access to facilities which are already used by industry. For example, for sports media, we have the Sydney Cricket Ground Trust and Moore Park facilities. One of the things that we are keen on is that our students actually develop their professional portfolio as they go. So even if you don't have much experience in journalism, or it's very basic, we make sure that we build that, we work at your level, and we make sure that at the end you have a professional portfolio that you can then take to industry and apply for jobs. So you will be connected while you're a student with us with outlets such as Central News, which I'll talk about shortly, UMag, and Vertigo. So let me just talk you through the courses. So we've got the Master of Advanced Journalism Extension. Now the course totals 12 subjects, and this includes 6 core subjects that we teach as part of journalism. And then we have 3 advanced journalism electives and 3 extension electives. So these could be from other areas. So full-time students complete the course in 2 years, and they're required to undertake 3 subjects per semester. So that's kind of the load that you're looking at. And part-time students can complete the course between 2.5 years and 6 years, and can take 1 or 2 subjects per semester. And what we've had is, depending on the student's life, they might be parents, they might be working. We kind of cater the course to their ability and time. We also have the Master of Advanced Journalism, and the course totals 9 subjects, which is 6 core subjects and then 3 electives. And these electives can be electives of the student's choice. We tend to advise that depending on what you want to do and what kind of journalist and industry you see yourself working in, that you actually select your electives accordingly. Full-time students complete the course in 1.5 years and are required to undertake 3 subjects per semester. And part-time students should undertake 1 or 2 subjects a semester. So depending on the number of subjects taken the course, usually that part-time would take 2 to 5 years. We've also got the graduate diploma in advanced journalism. The course totals 6 subjects, 4 core subjects, and 2 electives. So full-time students complete the course in 1 year and are required to undertake 3 subjects per semester. And part-time students complete the course in a year and a half to 3 years and undertake 1 or 2 subjects per semester. So you can see you've got that kind of flexibility to see if you're not quite sure what to do and what to start with, then you can start with a graduate diploma and then move on to a master's. There's also the idea that you can do a master's, and then if you feel that you can't complete, then you can exit with a graduate diploma. There's different views, but there are options, and within these options, there are flexible times. We've also got the graduate diploma in sports media. So this is focusing on sports media. The course totals 6 subjects, 4 core subjects, and 2 electives. So full-time students complete the course in 1 year and are required to undertake 3 subjects per semester. And part-time students complete the course in a year and a half to 3 years and undertake 1 or 2 subjects a semester. So that's the kind of different courses that you can apply for postgrad. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Central News. So Central News is our newsroom. It's an online platform. If you haven't already, I really encourage you to go and have a look at it. It's our real-time newsroom where students gain hands-on reporting, editing, and other production experience. And we have very experienced editor working at Central News, who currently is Martin Newman. He actually has editorial meetings with students every morning from 9:30 to 10:30, and this is postgrad and undergrad. It's where our students can practice and strengthen use of digital tools, but also be able to apply different stories. So we have a combination of students wanting to come in with stories and wanting to pitch them, and other students. We also provide a daily kind of agenda, news agenda, so students can put their hands up to cover particular stories and go out and cover them. We also have mentors that work. So you, as a postgrad journalism student at UTS, can put your hand to be a mentor. And this is considered an internship. So this is an internal internship. So you will be recognized for your work. And as I said at the start, this is something that kind of can build up towards your professional portfolio. So the idea is that by the time you graduate, you can actually show a future employee your professional portfolio. We've also got the Foreign Correspondence Study Tour, and this is Elise is smiling because she's going to tell you about that. But it's a project very close to my heart. We started it at UTS in 2015, and it's funded by the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. So students get to go 2 weeks overseas. Elise joined us for a trip to India and also Jordan, and it is a real experience. So you're actually a foreign correspondent. We've got a partnership with SBS, so students tend to submit their stories to SBS. They're run several times a year. They're available for undergrad and postgrad. There are some study tours that are only postgrad, some study tours that are combined. And as I said, they're published on SBS online, and we also publish on Central News. Students who have gone on these study tours, they are selected to go. It's partially funded. And students who have gone on these study tours have actually got great jobs after, and I know because I've acted as a referee for many of them. So it's a really great experience. The picture up there is one of our students in Tunisia. and the lower one is in Jordan. So we've had students go to India, Philippines, Tunisia, Jordan, and we have other study tours coming up now that the borders have opened. I'm going to hand over to Elise now, and she's going to tell you about her experience being a student at UTS.
Okay, so I guess I'll probably just start from the beginning and put it into a little package. I started by doing an undergrad at UCID in anthropology and sociology. And then it took me a few years to figure out, I think, what I was good at and where I thought I sort of belonged in the world. So I knew that I was good at writing and that I had an interest in, potentially working overseas. And I think it was, it was maybe, around the same time that I was, really sort of thinking, well, what am I going to do with my life? I was actually served a Facebook ad about the master's program. So I enrolled. I was at the time not working in journalism. And then I did my studies part-time. So I studied from 2016 to 2020. I actually found my sort of first, journalism job or copywriting job through a colleague and a fellow student doing my master's. And so I started working for a company called News Extend in Sydney. So that's where I was able to try myself out as a journalist. So I was actually working full time while studying. So it's absolutely something that you can do. And I still managed to have a social life. And then the two study tours, and I think, part of the reason why someone maybe chose me to talk about my experience at UTS is because those two study tours and doing my master's completely changed my life. So going from someone who knew that they were good at writing and had an interest in, potential interest in journalism, I did the study tour in India. And so the study tour in India, probably one of the most valuable experiences was we were dropped into a rural town with one translator, and we needed to file before the end of the day. So experiences like that are something that I was then able to translate when I got my first sort of serious journalism role. I ended up working as the senior reporter for a paper called The Centralian Advocate. So that was based in Alice Springs. I'd never been to Alice Springs before. So I think the experience that I had, in India and then Jordan, that actually set me up to have that self-belief and to know that I was agile, in terms of that travel. And so I worked as a journalist for that 1 year, and then obviously COVID hit and things changed. And so now I work as a engagement and communication advisor to a politician up in the Northern Territory. And so every single, I suppose, the colleague that I met whilst working, while studying at UTS, and then the experiences I got across radio, film, writing, feature writing, every base was covered. Even just last week, one of the modules is doing copyright law and intellectual property law, and that sort of helped me. The minister I worked for, we put up a video of him singing along to an Alicia Keys song, and I was able to use that background, and that not only did I think I'd end up working for a politician, but I was able to use that little nugget that I'd learned doing masters in this role. So I think part of the reason as well why I was able to move from, working in Surrey Hills in Sydney to Alice Springs was because my experience in the Foreign Correspondent Study Tour, and also UTS being highly regarded as it is, that all looks good on my CV. And so, being in the industry, because I was working for News Corp as well, that was something that there is that awareness of the students that come out of UTS. which was obviously incredibly important, and that translated to my first role. And then I was scouted for the role that I'm in now by the minister as I was working as a journalist in Alice Springs. So I suppose that Facebook, ad that I saw, or going to this talk today, there were all those little moments that I couldn't have anticipated back then, but hands down, the lecturers and the students I met and the experiences I've had have absolutely built me up to where I am today. And I think not just professionally, but personally. I mean, I wasn't, friends with Saba before I started my master's. And so I think that's also a testament to, the quality of lecturers and the, I suppose, the intimacy that you are going to have with your lecturers. They are there to help you. So it's something that I can't recommend highly enough, this experience, but also doing it at UTS. I think I researched the masters before I started, and so this masters was the best masters program in Australia, and so that also added to my decision. So yeah. Were there any other questions?
Thanks so much, Elise. That's really great. I'm sure the students will have questions, so we'll leave it till the Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Saba, I might.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sita Chopra. I'm the Director of Postgraduate Coursework. I'm here in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. So I'm just going to talk you through the admission requirements to the courses. So if you're interested in any of the journalism or sports media degrees at UTS, we have a general requirement that you must have completed a UTS recognised bachelor's degree or an equivalent or higher qualification, or submitted other evidence that shows that you're capable of pursuing graduate studies. So for the Masters of Advanced Journalism Extension or the Masters of Advanced Journalism, you need to have a bachelor's degree in the field of education, management and commerce, society and culture, or creative arts. If, however, you have a bachelor's degree in another field, then we require you to also have 2 years related professional work experience. In a situation where you may have gone on beyond a bachelor's and you have a grad cert, a grad dip, or a master's, that qualification can be in any field of study. And if you pop that in your application, then that's all you'll need to complete in terms of having your application assessed. It's a little bit different if you're interested in applying for the Graduate Diploma in Advanced Journalism or our Graduate Diploma in Sports Media. So basically, again, you need an academic qualification, but if you haven't completed an academic qualification, then you must provide a personal statement explaining why you wish to study the course, so why you're interested in advanced journalism or sports media, and also a resume or curriculum vitae, which will just give us a sense of what paid or voluntary work or other experiences that you've been involved in that could be relevant to either of the courses. If you're an international applicant or you're a domestic applicant with an international qualification, there's also some English language proficiency requirements, which we've just popped there at the bottom of the slide. Basis. So we're just moving into the question and answer part of the evening. Depending on the questions, I might take some of them on notice so we can feed them back to Saba and the journalism team, but I'll just have a look at what has come through in the chat. So one of the questions is, does UTS have any industry connections? And we do, and when it comes to advanced journalism, we have quite a lot of connections. So Saba spoke around the Foreign Correspondent Study Tour, which is organised with the Department of with DFAT, and we also have industry connections there with SBS Online. We've had a series called Meet the Journalist over the last couple of years, when we brought in practicing journalists such as Sandra Sully, Hamish McDonald, etc. So students can really get an idea of what practicing journalists go through, and also ask them questions about how they came up through the ranks to the journalists that they are today. Let's just see. Oh, sorry, I was just also meant to say that even in postgraduate study, if you're interested in doing a work integrated learning component or an internship, then that is possible too. I have a question here for you, Elise. What was your favourite subject?
I just saw that and I got like nervous because I was like, what was my favourite subject?
You can't decide, can you?
No, on about it a little bit, but I have to admit, those foreign correspondence study tours that SABA runs, you like, obviously, you know, you partially pay for them, but I guess, you know, the expression goes that you can't pay for that kind of experience. I think for me, I wouldn't have had comparable experiences doing an internship at in Sydney, for example. You know, I interned at Elle magazine, you know, very briefly because I had a friend there, and you just don't have those same kind of experiences, I suppose. I think foreign correspondent for sure. There was another subject around the theory of journalism that sounded boring, but I actually ended up doing a piece on Kim Kardashian and the book that she'd released, which was just that entire book of selfies. And so I think in terms of, you know, you really can imbue your master's degree with your personality and you know, bring who you are to the table, and sort of pivot those potentially dry sort of assessments in a way that challenges your thinking. Or, you know, if you wanted to write something about Kim Kardashian or whoever you were interested in, you know, there's opportunities there that things may seem like they're going to be theoretical. Every piece you do, I think that's the other bit of advice. Every piece I did, I looked at it as an opportunity to, well, how can I write this in a way that I could potentially move it to be published? So yeah, so favourite subjects, foreign correspondence study tour. They absolutely helped me in terms of my employment and just my growth as a person and as a journalist. But then those theoretical subjects were also really valuable because they teach you how to think, but you can also interpret them, you know, how you wish to an extent. So yeah.
Amazing, thank you. Also, just jumping back to that question around industry connections, I should have mentioned that in the master's program, there is the journalism major project subject. So students can undertake an in-depth investigation to create a piece of work. You're advised by a journalist mentor. That might be one of our SABA's colleagues as an academic or somebody from industry as well. As a student, you have an opportunity to pitch your project, so your final piece, to a panel of media professionals. So I think that's quite a good subject as well, because you're really getting that authentic experience and it's mirroring the workplace that you might end up in.
I think I might just quickly, I'll interrupt, just one of my colleagues did the masters at the same time as me. She's just finished up on Junkie TV, and she is in the process of writing a book on her mother has a mental illness, and so, you know, she's probably 28 and she's writing her first book. And I think, you know, she's someone that I'll have to tell Sabra about, because there's so many of those kind of stories with all of us, you know, which may sound a bit cliche, but I think, you know, it's why I'm so happy to spruik the master's degree, because I can see how much it's changed so many of our lives professionally.
It's amazing, thank you. I've also got a question here about, can I do this course part-time? Absolutely. So if you're doing it part-time, you'd have a reduced study load. So for instance, if you are a full-time student, might do the master's in 1.5 years. A part-time student might take 3 or longer, but that's definitely an option. I've also had a question here about if I don't do the sports media grad dip, but I want to do the Masters of Journalism, are the subjects available as electives? And yes, that's the case that some of them are. I don't think they all are, but some of them definitely are available as electives. Okay, I've got one more here about if I start the graduate diploma, can I go up to the Masters? Definitely, we have something called articulation here at UTS. So if you do the graduate diploma, which is one of the lower qualifications, you can certainly then transfer into the Masters of Advanced Journalism as you're nearing completion, and you would get credit for the subjects that you've already done. So that would reduce the amount of time that you'd need to do the Masters. Okay, then I have, is this course only suited to people who want to become a journalist? Elise, would you like to answer that from a position of experience?
Well, hands on heart, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to become a journalist when I started this master's degree. I think when I look around at, I think the answer to your question is, you know, no, if being a journalist isn't something you end up, you know, thinking you want to do. I've got friends now that are managing, so that's another thing I think is important to mention. Digital media and social media is absolutely a component in terms of this master's. So I think the role I do now for the minister up in Darwin is I look after all of his social media assets. So I'm still technically using journalism every day to storytell. I've got friends that with ABC, SBS, that are actually, you know, working as journalists, but I've also got friends that are head of engagement and social media for marketing companies in Sydney. Obviously the young woman that's writing a book currently. You know, and I think there's some of us that one gentleman ended up going and working as a journalist in China. So I think even if you don't want to become a journalist, the foundation that you get in terms of comms, the networks that you make, and I think the type of content that you're privy to means that, you know, if you want to end up working for a politician in communications, or if you want to end up working in copywriting and social media, the skills that you get and the contacts that you make, I just think the overall experience is something that I wouldn't take back for the world. And it's something that even if you're not sure what you want to do, to start with, the person that asked, can you move up, you know, start off slow. Like I did the opposite thing, and I was working full-time and was studying full-time, and then realized that I just couldn't do it, and so I lessened the load, and it took me 4 years to do my master's. So go at your own pace, and you know, if the master's is something that looks like something you want to do, go and do it, and then, you know, figure it out as you go along. I think as a young person, you don't need to have all the answers, you know, as soon as you start studying, not with your undergrad, not with your master's. So if it's something you think you'll enjoy, and reach out to Saba. I'm happy for you guys. If my last name's there, you're more than welcome to reach out to me on LinkedIn or Facebook. I think if you're part of the Young Writers Group, Kathy Boris was also part of the master's program when I was there. She's now studying law, but she founded one of the largest young writers groups on Facebook in the country. And so there's a lot of resources, and, you know, we're all here to help if you've got questions. So I 100% do it.
I think that's a really good point about writing as well, because some of the electives that you choose, they don't all need to be in the journalism program. So if you'd like to choose something from writing, for example, that's certainly possible. So there's also other parts of our School of Communication that you might be interested in, just to broaden out your studies.
Yeah, film, radio, yeah, there's so much.
Okay, so that appears to be the last question. So we've just got up there our contact details. So if you've got any other questions that you'd like to send through, Saba will definitely be available when she's feeling better. We're certainly very responsive if you want to send through any queries at all, because we want to make sure that you choose the course that's right for you and have a really great experience when you come on board with us. So thank you once again, Elise. It's great to have you here tonight.
All good.
All right, then. Good night, everybody.
Bye. Bye.